Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Festival and Community Events Commission meeting tonight. We would like to call the meeting to order at 7:02. If everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If we would get a motion to accept the agenda as submitted tonight. Kathy, thanks. Second? Karen, any discussion about it? All right. I hope everybody got a chance to read the meetings from the January 15th meeting. If so, I'd like a motion to approve those minutes. George, second?
I have a question.
Sure.
In the downsizing of the budget.
Wait. Let me get a second, and then we'll discuss it. Oh, okay. I need a second.
Second.
John, thanks. Okay, discussion. You're up, Scott.
In number 8, discussion items in the minutes. The event budget was cut from 62 to 50.
Yes.
And then at the bottom of that, there's a series of cuts that actually reduce it to 44,000.
What are the series of cuts?
Bottom of that page in the minutes of discussion item number 8, the very bottom. And they carry over to the top of the next page.
Looking at it right down here. What was it we cut? The entertainment from 17 to 10.
Yeah, we had talked about just reducing some of these brackets, and I kind of rattled off 10, 3, 5, 10, 8. And that was more of just a guesstimation. I know, Scott, you and I talked to my office today. And if the numbers didn't line up, that would be my error. So, but again, the goal is to stay completely under the 62.5 due to the bridge situation. The goal is 50,000. If you'd like me to fine tune those numbers, I will have that prepared via email first thing in the morning. It could have been my math, so
Okay.
my error.
So do we need to correct that right now then? Since you pointed that out?
Yeah, and
All right.
that's why I'm rebuttaling. I can put out a new budgetary to all the commissioners with a rough estimate of 50,000. That is our goal. Remember, a budget is a working budget. We've already talked about the bridge closure. We've talked about reducing our expenditures due to that, because with the bridge closing, our revenues are not going to be as high. I mean, that's just common sense, that we would make that attempt to keep the budget under 50 as opposed to spending 62.5. We all kind of agreed upon that in the last 2 meetings. So, but I can revise those numbers, Scott.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Any more discussion? Okay. Public comment? To accept the minutes? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. Thanks. All right. No public comment. All right, I'll go down to the chairman's report. If you look at your screens, we got the new website up and running. We're still tweaking it. We're adding things. This year, you scroll down. If you look at it on a bigger desktop or device, these application schedules and all that aren't cluttered. If you look like that, see how the application goes over the Ferris wheel? It's probably the screens. All right, so this is what we have secured as far as lineups and stuff. Anything you guys can think to add to the schedule. We have no entertainment on Sunday other than the car show. And there's a DJ up there for the car show, right, Scott?
Correct.
So we'll get down to the discussion items and talk about that. You go down a little further, applications. Let's go with sponsor. And I'm doing this so you folks at home, I know this is going to loop continuously, can see this. So if you click on sponsors, it tells you the different amounts, and then you go down to the second page, it tells you what's included in those amounts. We can customize anything for you. And just so you guys know, here, John, pass these down. There's a packet for each one of you to look at, take with you, so you can familiarize yourself with the sponsorships. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. All right. These can all be printed off the website. It's groseallislandfest.com. Next one's the parade form. Kim, can they email these back to the rec department, or do they have to mail them or drop them off? Or email's fine. They can email it through this. So they would have to scan it, fill it out, and then, all right. Here's the parade application. Mr. Fulmer, if there's anything you think that needs to be tweaked in this, let us know. There were a few changes down here with rules and regulations, as you all are aware. And boom. And then the final one is exhibitor. Prices stayed the same as last year. Opening letter, exhibitor forms. We've already gotten maybe a dozen that have sent their checks in and, you know, secured their spots. Yeah. Rules and regulations.
In the rules and regulations, license and who would need a license? Who needs a?
For an exhibitor,
Yes.
well, they can't be selling booze or anything. We already got an application for wine in a can, and we had to say no because, Scott, as you know, we can't be mixing licenses and all that. So I don't think anybody would need a license, would they? Unless they're selling fudge, like the fudge guy. He has something from the state that he's certified. and
Yeah,
all that.
there could be a raffle that would need a license. Is this what you're alluding to, Scott? A raffle license?
Right, so-
Yeah,
right.
one, that would be one. A dispensary, you know, I mean, if somebody comes in and says, I'm selling brownies and it's Happy Brownies, I mean, is there a license for that? What covers that? So I guess that's where, Scott, I don't want to speak for you, but
No, that's what
I think you were going down that road.
is on there, and I just wanted to be clear as to what it would apply to. Yeah.
When John brought up dispensary type thing, there's been people selling the CBD oils in there, but I mean, it's just the same thing as you're selling hand lotion, right? It is, yeah.
Find that marijuana is not approved federally.
Not marijuana,
Yeah.
it's a CBD oil, which is
I'm
a
just saying
derivative, so there's no, yeah.
Dispensary is not approved yet.
God, you open up a
Government.
can of worms. So, and then, you know, if you click on the little things on the homepage, it'll take you right to the scheduler applications and about us. So, and then we're all down here at the, where'd our names go and stuff? There's the commission and everything. So if there's anything you guys need or think we should add to this, by all means, reach out, let us know. Shane is on the payroll right now till June. What was I looking for? Oh, there's pictures.
I think it looks really good. It's user-friendly. Which is important.
Honestly, I was not crazy about it, and that's why I sent it out to all of you. Because when I first looked at it, there was a guy with a microphone on the homepage, and I said, Island Fest isn't just about bands. It's more about the kids in the community and rides and this and that. And Shane and I went back a little bit about it. And he goes, well, you just don't like it? And I said, well, there wasn't a counter on it, so we're building and building and building, and then, you know, we have to email in the schedules and all that, as we should. But last year, it had all kinds of sparkly, and the pictures went by as you looked at the homepage, you know. There was a picture. But, you know, if you're all good with it, then it's easier. The next thing is, here's the exhibitor forms. You can just take one of these, take them with you, look at them at your own time if there's anything you think we need. And then as you're hustling these things, you can say, and they're all available at groseallislandfest.com. So we good there. All right. That's my presentation. Mr. Nelson, you're up. Township Liaison, Jim Nelson.
I'll be shorter, no report. Thank you.
Everything's good, huh?
Good, Chad.
That bridge gonna be open for Island Fest, sir?
Not a fair question. Juncture.
All right. Any old business we need to discuss?
I just want to update, I know that I had spoke about policies and procedures, and I am slowly working on those. I should have those prepared by the March meeting. And the policies and procedures will be for volunteers, for our commissioners, how we are dealing with cash exchange, those types of things. It will all be in the manual. So I will have that ready by the March meeting. I thought I'd have it done this meeting, and I am doing some other things right now. So March meeting, I'll have that ready for everybody.
So you know, there is, I think we've talked about this before, the township has released forms that anybody that volunteers has to sign this form, and if they're under 18, their parent or guardian has to sign the form.
That'll be in there as well. So we all have, and I think we did give that to everybody last year. So, but it'll be a packet full of things. So, yep.
Okay. So Scott had a good question, where it says old business and new business. I don't know the difference between new business and discussion items. Anybody help me out on that?
They're about the same. They're the same.
We were told that we had to have those on our agenda,
Right.
so Brian Friel, boom.
Well, maybe we could put discussion in between old and new. Maybe that's, we don't have to action items. I don't know why you would need that we're going to act on.
That we'll vote on.
Yep.
And we had, I watched one of the, I'm not going to say which meeting, and they had, their agenda was totally different than ours. They had the chairman's report at the very bottom of it. It's the one you sent me last night.
Oh,
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I was like, wow. I thought there was a whole protocol that we had to follow and how things were listed. I know this is getting boring now. Sorry. All right. So no old business. New business. All right. Action items.
Can we back up a sec?
Yes, sir.
I'm reading from the minutes that we were gonna have some safety presentation.
We need to get our police and fire liaisons at the March meeting, because after this meeting, we only have 3
they're
more.
scheduled for March.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. And I did think of that today. But, all right.
Also, I'm reading from the minutes about the commissioners' 4-hour shifts to sign up for, or?
I'm thinking 4 to 8, 8 to midnight on Friday, and then Saturday it would be noon to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to midnight, and then Sunday is just a 4-hour, 5-hour day. So
Does that need to be put on here? Are we signing up for that, or?
you're gonna take Sunday, right?
Right.
John's got the evening, right? So after the parade on Saturday, who can be down here at like 11:15, 11:30?
And put that out via email. And because and commissioners, check your schedules. It's been kind of conveyed verbally of the hours that we would need coverage. So check your schedules, and then we'll get a blast. It's a lot easier for people to go home, figure out what they're doing, and then respond on email, and then we put a schedule together.
Well, I think the schedule would be open to 4, then 4 to 8, then 8 to midnight, because those are 4-hour shifts each. So whatever's convenient.
That last year too, did we do that last year? That's what I thought, okay.
Discussion items. I gave you those packets already. Oops. The next one, my term expires in April. I've always said, I don't know why I'd step down in April when the event's or a month out. So Margie needs me reappointed till September. Discussions, guys? Come on, now's your chance.
Why September?
Because all chairman's seats go from September to September. And you guys go from, only the Festival and Events Commission goes from August to August. Did you know that, Jim?
I misunderstood then.
She
It's
said, chairmans are September to September, all chair seats. And then and then this commission is, what did I just say? August to August, yeah. And then the others are April to April, because you have your general meeting in April, right? Yeah.
My letter when I was appointed.
Mm-hmm.
It is August to August.
All right, that's what we just said, right? Yeah, August to August?
Yeah, August to August.
But it's just the festival commission, which is, I thought, odd. Yeah. Margie.
That's how it was written, so, and Margie has the ordinances and all of that, so. So that's kind of where we're at, so. I think what I would like to recommend to the commission, is to possibly talk about having an assistant chairman, to shadow and kind of really get into the guts of what this is about. And I don't think anyone would be opposed to that if something we can talk about. I mean, I know Chad, comes in at 2 and we're working on things and this, that, and the other thing. But just to kind of really stand alongside Chad, if at all possible, maybe, if you're working full-time, which most of you do, I understand that, but maybe meeting once a month to figure out how he does things and how when he comes in and communicates with me. I'm just kind of throwing out an option for shadowing, if that's something the commission would like to do, just so we're all on board. I'm just brainstorming and
I
putting
think a
ideas
couple
out there.
things that need definite observation are when those booths are set up in that hangar, because I know we've discussed about moving the booths and doing a different layout, but when it comes down to the electricity and the way those things are plugged in, I mean, that's the only thing, unless you're going to put them all the way around the wall of the hangar, those rows, a third of those have electricity, and that's, what people are paying for. It's just things like that, tasks like that. I mean, Wendy, you helped me this past year, and it was so great because, just bending over and chalking that stuff out and making sure everything fits and that you got your 20 feet space. So if there's a fire emergency, they're not going to care if they got to get in there with a truck or something. I get that, but it's just things like that need to really be paid attention to because.
So think about that over the next month, if that's something this commission would like to move forward with, maybe just, kind of have an assistant chairperson. Or if we don't want to do that, I mean, we all kind of work together. We talk to each other. We are a working commission. I think, most of us are learning. And I mean, I understand festival very, very well. I mean, you're in my office 3 times a week. I'm right beside you every day. So it's just an option if somebody would want to step up into that slot. If I think we could do that.
We can do a co-chair seat for sure.
Do a co-chair.
It's more than just showing up here and running a meeting.
Yeah,
And I know everybody's everybody's busy. Even if you're not holding down to 9 to 5,
Yep.
we all have things that we're involved with and commitments and schedules and deadlines. So,
Ed,
yes, sir.
somebody's running for office, the primary is
Delicate on that. I got scolded from the rec last time we had a rec meeting.
August the 4th, if somebody's running. So
Running August the 4th.
is
yeah.
that
When does that seat
November?
kick in? Right after the election or in January?
in November?
It does. I thought it didn't come in until January. Yes.
Get the fine tuning of how,
Yeah. Okay.
how all
But
that
absolutely.
works.
Yeah.
I know where you're going. Absolutely.
Sure,
yeah.
that's all. I didn't.
No, they all know, so it's all good.
Can we step a festival of 29, 30, 31? Is there a June meeting? Don't we skip a meeting right away or something, or
We shouldn't.
There's a budget wrap-up meeting in
Budget
June.
wrap up.
June?
And we have to go to the township board and present that to them at the township
Is
board.
there a
level,
meeting in
too.
July?
No,
I think we took July off,
in July and August.
August, and then we reconvened in September. Yeah.
This is, there's events going on all through the summer too, and I see all of you probably.
But,
So,
and if we feel that we need to change that, because we can, that's okay. If we feel that's something we've done, and we don't always have to do what we've always done. We can change things. If we feel as a commission that meeting, I believe, the wrap-up meeting is critical. It's fresh in our heads. I remember us all sitting there. We remember that path. We remember this, that, and the other thing. And you should, after any event, do a wrap-up within a week, if not 2 weeks following the event, because it's fresh in our heads. So, and again, we have a lot of homework in the next month. Let's talk about those things and make some decisions in March of how we're going to proceed with an assistant co-chair, and if we should have meetings in July and August.
but the a wrap-up meeting in June. I think it should be 2 weeks because we still have bills, outstanding bills that go out. I mean, we
Yeah.
had money coming in still from
Yes.
some of our fireworks sponsors that we really need to, so.
There was some late, money coming in. I do.
Speaking of fireworks, well, let's stick to this topic first. So, any more discussion about this? What do you guys,
Well, I guess I'm not 100% clear on the September date. Is that part of our policy, or can we say July 1st?
that's township policy, September
Yeah,
to September.
that's what Margie conveyed
But it-
to us.
But last March, it went in front of the township board for Chad. I watched it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It was a blindside. Yeah. So why are they approving in March for September? That's where there's a discrepancy. But how?
Good question. I don't have the answer. I can find out.
Yeah, if you approve in March, and then say no, you're out in September. That's so that. Yeah, yeah. Just like the the budget should be 2 years out and approved. You can't approve a budget a month and a half before the event and say, oh, we're in a deficit. Sorry, Festival Commission, that money that we had set aside is going to be spent for, whatever. So I think if we're doing things different from other commissions from March and a September date, then let's push and get our budget a year out.
Which we're working on 21 with the recreation, I know.
Yeah, 21.
And then the whole thing with you guys from August to August, I didn't understand that either. This is the only commission that does that. We can go and probably have it changed, but
I think
Could it-
Au-
could
I
it
think
be
August to
because
August
because the event actually takes place in May.
right. I think that works well, but to approve March or September just seems
Would you change chairmans or commissioners before the event?
but this is the only commission.
That's what I'm saying. So you want to, as soon as you wrap up, make the transition.
Or you're thinking July.
July, yeah.
Okay. I didn't write it.
Well, I know, that's for all the
The
chairmen. So
ordinance.
do we change it just for the festival commission or do we change it for all the chairmen?
Well, we're different already. So
Commission is, but not the chairs. All the chairs are, September.
I thought, Jim, are you approving chairs next month at the township level? Okay. So it is March. Okay. It doesn't make
I
sense.
didn't make the rules.
No, it doesn't make
Right.
sense for us to not continue with Chad at this point. But I think if we're making the change and if we're unclear of why they picked this September date, then and they approve it in March, and we might as well get closer to center on alignment.
March
Oh,
approval
Margie,
date
she could explain it better because
March
she
approval
did
date.
send an
It's
email.
hard when you're not here.
coincides with the
making
budget.
choices. That's the hard
The
part.
township budget is April 1st to March 31st. So the township board approves the budget at the March meeting, and at the same time, we reappoint the chairs. I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm just saying that's how it is now. We can look at it and tweak it and find out what we can do. Yeah.
Well, you approve it, but ours isn't until September, in theory, is what I'm saying. Let's get it all in a line if it's September or if it's March. And if we got any latitude to move it, let's do it sooner than later. You can't expect a change this late in the game on anything. I mean, Chad's got a lot going.
Sure. Yeah, I'll find out. Yep.
We'll dig.
Oh, and in all honesty,
all I can
this
say.
is the first I'd heard about the August thing too, or September and the August for the commission. from Margie. I had never heard that before. I thought it was March to March or April when they go in there. And I thought, well, this is weird.
We'll have answers, John. We'll get it.
So what do we think about having we need to have a study session next month too. You know, I think. Yeah, so we need to, maybe an hour before, or do you want to do it after? Or
Hour?
If you guys
Can everyone do 6 o'clock?
look at your schedules and see how you're 6. So do we need to reappoint this to a vote so they can take this downstairs and it will be, because Margie said make sure these are done by your March meeting.
done?
My chair seat by the March meeting. So
I'll talk to her tomorrow. What?
when's your board meeting in March before our
March
festival?
9th.
Ninth.
We need to vote on it tonight. Do I have to go back and amend the agenda or amend it to,
You have to put an action item on there?
well, somebody, I don't want to put it out there. Can somebody else put the action item to reappoint Novak as chairman until September 2020?
So moved.
Would you have to put the motion? It'd be good if you put the motion out and then we'll go down.
Okay. I moved. Whatever Chad said. You're the chair, it's
Make
okay.
a motion to reappoint Chad
There you
Novak
go.
as
Thank you.
chairman until September 2020.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did you vote? Yeah. Oh, all right. I didn't hear you.
Hear you.
No,
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
You said it in your head.
yes.
All right, so and then look at your schedules about,
But I also want that to
Yes.
look into. We
yeah.
reappointed him,
Yep.
and I know you have aspirations, and also for the future. I don't think this commission can take off as many months as we did last year, but that's just me.
well, there's a lot of events that go on in the
Action item.
summer, yeah.
We'll put an action item on the March agenda. Or actually, it doesn't really need to be an action item. That we can have meetings in July and August.
Up to our
We are
discussion.
able to have a discussion as a commission
All
and agree
commissions do that.
upon a meeting schedule. We don't have to vote on that. Is everyone in favor of having a July and August meeting?
Right now you're asking?
Yeah, just to get a feel for it. Are you, if your schedules are good, do you feel that we should have a July and August meeting?
I say yes, especially if we're going to have a new
Yes.
chairman.
Feeling no? I mean,
Yes. I agree.
okay.
Well, then we need
Yes.
to get that vice chair in here so they can start running meetings
So, I
and
mean-
stuff. Did you hear that? So we need to
brief,
pick a
but I think
vice
it's-
chair next month, a co-chair, so they can get the July and possibly August meetings going or something. I mean, we have so many events at the swimming pool and at the farms, you know, that I'd like to see some of you guys, if not all of you, at. I mean, the Easter egg thing is March 28th. It's a great thing. We did that daddy-daughter dance. Thank you, Scott, Wendy. We need so many. We had almost 350 registrations for that daddy-daughter. It was 150 more than we've ever done, and it was crazy fun. But we need an events committee to help out with events. You know,
Fun though, that was a
It
good
was
night.
fun,
That
yeah.
was so- it was fun. Watching the little kids.
we danced to
but-
Shake It Off. Kim and I did. And then Wendy, yeah, took pictures. But I mean, you know, the photo line was 2 hours long, and we just need to have some more volunteers for that, especially with the events commission. Okay, couple more things. We have no entertainment scheduled for Sunday. Thoughts? We have no entertainment scheduled for Saturday afternoon.
Oh. We don't have a lineup for Saturday afternoon?
Nope.
The Sunday DJ will be on this side of the building.
Right, he'll be at the north side of the hangar.
What about some of those singers that like play at Trago every Thursday?
That's, yeah, like.
One of those guys
Dave
was my
Leslie-
neighbor.
Dave Leslie.
Dave Leslie and Lindsay.
Yep.
He's
That's
my
what I-
neighbor. I could ask him if he'd be interested.
Yeah, I was gonna send him a message too, cause I know him. I just thought,
Yeah.
Well, you know, we've gotten a dozen submissions from bands that Gail keeps a file at the recreation office, but they all want thousands and thousands of dollars because it's Grozeel and it's Island Fest, and we have to explain that we as a commission voted about what bands we were going to bring in because we got a pretty good deal with that. And I think personally there are draws in this area. But, you know, I got one letter and they were really disappointed in that. But I mean, and I know who you're talking about too. And I mean, I asked Kim today, I says, oh, somebody reached out to me. She goes, oh, are they going to be free? And I go, I don't think so. You do, yeah.
As a funny.
And of course, they're not going to be free, but I don't
Sorry.
think it's going to be expensive.
I don't
I can find out. I talk to them all the time. I'll find out.
Well, let's talk about, we have study session next meeting, time. We know what we're looking for. Let's get the conversation going and bring something to the table at the study session for Saturday.
And we can talk about prices too. And Sunday, Saturday and Sunday both. I mean, Saturday we had, I wish we could get that Jazzapalooza back with all the different schools like Trenton and Wyandotte and Woodhaven and Brownstown and Gibraltar. And that would bring their families over here and that, but, all right.
So it's Saturday day shift that we're open on entertainment.
Like time-wise, what are you talking time-wise, do you think?
I don't know, 50 amp starts around 8:30 and then they stop for the fireworks for about 30 minutes and they come back on. I would say noon to 7 or something, but we can use TJ Monty as a DJ throughout that too. And I thought, I had an idea today about, started at 4.
4 to 7.
Yes.
All right, I'll wait till March and say what I think, because I have a couple of these DJ kids that they're in their 20s and they're really good, and I know they come down dirt cheap and play throughout the afternoon. We could throw in Dave. That's when you sent me the picture,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And and I know once people see this, we're gonna get more emails and stuff. So.
Well, we do have a new band director. I wonder if she, the high school.
You're already.
Kissalicious. I could find out how much. Kissalicious
Oh,
is her
Kim, I
name.
love that.
She used to sing in the Square Pegs.
Oh, I thought it was a
Good.
Kiss band.
She's a.
Me too.
So we'll have some options. We'll have some options.
It's like Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons.
Oh.
All right, so the study session, we're going to talk about Saturday, Sunday bands, and then I'll have more information about the escape room, possibly for Friday night. I'm still waiting on some prices. And we will also discuss, we'll have meetings in July and August, which I feel most of the commissioners are feeling confident that's what we need to do. Anything else for the study session? Just putting an agenda together.
Who's the band for Friday night? Is it Phoenix Theory? Yes. Okay.
You're putting the agenda for a more or less closed meeting.
No,
No.
Those items be up here on old and new business.
Not closed.
it's open to the public.
Okay.
Public.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's open to the public,
Yeah.
but it's a study session. Wouldn't some of this stuff fall under old and new business on the next agenda?
That's what Madam Secretary's writing right there, old business and new business, right?
Sure.
So, old business would be the bands and the summer meetings.
The new business, I see co-chair, I see the safety we just talked about. I mean, I guess when you get an agenda, these items should be there. If it says new business,
We have an option to do that as a closed meeting too. If we're gonna be talking about prices and stuff, no, you don't wanna do that?
I would not want to do a closed session.
Oh, that's next
It
week.
just won't be broadcast, so.
Talking to study session, right?
Yes. All right. Scott, since you're up there in vocal, let's hear about the car show.
We have flyers for the car show. Unfortunately, mine did not print well. Have you printed one off? Yours
Can we
printed
put on the
perfectly.
Almo?
High-tech printer.
And, I fear whatever printer cartridge we do use though. Good, you can kill their cartridge, good.
There's a lot of color in this poster. Looks very similar to last year's.
I like that car.
No, it's a good picture.
Scott, do you want to read some of the information on there?
Sure. We'll have a DJ. We'll have gas card raffles throughout the afternoon. We're advertising that we do have a midway. Car show is from 12 to 3. Registration is at 11. We have 3 categories, an over 25, an under 25, and we're going to invite a new group, which is Shelby America.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, what's that mean? Show me America?
Shelby.
Oh, Shelby. Oh, Shelby, like the Mustang?
Yes, it's a type of car.
I
They
just
have
watched
an-
Ford versus Ferrari.
They have they have an association. We're gonna try to make contact with them, among other associations.
Can you talk into your mic?
Sure.
It's on Facebook Live, so it's
I know, just so the
echoing.
audience can hear.
Where do you want me to start? I don't know where we're at. I'm good. Okay, thanks. So that's what we have right now. I did talk to our former chairperson, Jackie Snow, and she's going to come down and judge the car show for us. She did retire from running the car show last year, and she mentored me, so I really feel comfortable where we're at. Any questions?
Job.
Yeah, I put the DJ's name on there when you secure all that, if you could. Just
I'll contact him. I haven't done it yet, but
add a logo or something. Thank you, Karen. Ms. Olenek?
I have nothing to report at this time. I will at the next meeting after our little study session.
Okay. Wendy?
Nope, I don't have anything.
John Bergen? George Fulmer? Kathy Alberg? Kevin Leisness? All right, so Wendy cannot make it to the March 18th meeting. Take minutes? All right. Kathy can take the minutes unless we want to look at another day. Look at you. Don't kick me under there.
No, I'm fine.
All right.
We have Boy Scout blue and gold banquets that night, so
Blue and gold.
I can't miss that.
With that being said, I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:38. Oh my God, was it Kevin and John? All in favor? Aye. Don't forget Island Fest, May 29, 30, 31. It's the weekend after Memorial Day. Thank you. Have a good night.